The Middle East, a region long synonymous with volatility, is once again teetering on the brink. Recent weeks have witnessed a dramatic escalation of tensions between Israel and Iran, two long-standing adversaries locked in a shadow war. This latest chapter in their protracted conflict is characterized by a surge in violence, raising fears of a wider conflagration that could engulf the entire region. Israel, citing security concerns, has intensified its military operations, targeting key figures within Hezbollah, the Iran-backed Shiite militant group based in Lebanon. These targeted assassinations, while lauded by some as a necessary measure to curb Hezbollah's growing influence, have drawn condemnation from others who fear they will only exacerbate the situation. The aftermath of these targeted killings has been swift and predictable. Hezbollah, vowing revenge for the deaths of its members, has responded with retaliatory attacks against Israeli targets, further fueling the cycle of violence. This tit-for-tat exchange of strikes has left the region on edge, with both sides seemingly locked in a dangerous game of brinksmanship. The escalation of violence has had devastating consequences for civilians caught in the crossfire. Rockets fired from Lebanon have rained down on Israeli towns and cities, forcing residents to seek shelter and disrupting daily life. Meanwhile, Israeli airstrikes have targeted Hezbollah positions in Lebanon, resulting in civilian casualties and widespread damage to infrastructure. At the heart of this escalating conflict lies Hezbollah, a powerful non-state actor with deep ties to Iran. Hezbollah, which translates to Party of God, is a Shiite Islamist political party and militant group based in Lebanon. Founded in the early 1980s during the Lebanese Civil War, Hezbollah has since evolved into a formidable force, boasting a sophisticated military wing and wielding considerable influence in Lebanese politics. Hezbollah's role in the current conflict stems from its close relationship with Iran, which provides the group with financial, military, and logistical support. Iran views Hezbollah as a crucial proxy force in its regional struggle against Israel and its allies, using the group to project power and advance its interests. Hezbollah possesses a vast arsenal of rockets and missiles, many of which are supplied by Iran, capable of striking deep within Israeli territory. This arsenal, which is estimated to include tens of thousands of rockets, poses a significant threat to Israeli security and is a key factor driving Israel's military calculations. Hezbollah's actions are carefully calibrated to advance Iranian interests while avoiding a full-scale war with Israel, which Iran is not currently prepared to fight. The group's strategy is to inflict pain on Israel, forcing it to make concessions and deterring it from taking further action against Iranian interests. The current escalation of violence underscores Hezbollah's pivotal role in the region's volatile dynamics. The group's actions have the potential to ignite a wider conflict, drawing in regional and international actors and with far-reaching consequences. Iran's regional ambitions extend far beyond its well-known support for Hezbollah in Lebanon. The Islamic Republic has meticulously cultivated a vast network of allies and proxies across the Middle East, stretching from the shores of the Mediterranean to the Arabian Peninsula. This network is a testament to Iran's strategic foresight and its desire to be a dominant regional power. These groups, united by their shared antipathy towards Israel and the West, serve as instruments of Iranian influence, allowing Tehran to project power and challenge its rivals. By leveraging these alliances, Iran can exert pressure on its adversaries and expand its geopolitical reach. In Yemen, Iran backs the Houthi rebels, a Shiite militant group that has been locked in a bloody civil war with the Yemeni government and its allies, led by Saudi Arabia. This support has turned Yemen into another battleground in the broader Saudi-Iranian rivalry. The Houthis, armed and funded by Iran, have launched numerous attacks against Saudi Arabia, targeting vital oil infrastructure, military bases, and even civilian areas. These attacks have not only caused significant damage, but have also heightened tensions in the region. In Syria, Iran has provided crucial support to the regime of Bashar al-Assad, helping it to regain control of much of the country after years of devastating civil war. This support has been instrumental in ensuring the survival of the Assad regime, Iran's military presence in Syria, which includes troops, advisors, and weapons, has raised significant concerns in Israel. Israel fears that Tehran is using its foothold in Syria to establish a permanent military presence and threaten its security, potentially destabilizing the region further. In Iraq, Iran exerts influence through a network of Shiite militias, many of which were formed after the US-led invasion in 2003. These militias have become a powerful force within Iraq, often operating with a degree of autonomy. These militias, collectively known as the Popular Mobilization Forces, or PMF, played a key role in defeating ISIS, but have also been accused of human rights abuses and acting as a proxy force for Iran. Their actions have sparked controversy and concern both within Iraq and internationally. Iran's network of allies and proxies provides it with a significant degree of strategic depth, allowing it to exert influence and project power far beyond its borders. This network is a crucial component of Iran's broader strategy to secure its interests and counter its adversaries. This extensive network also serves as a potential deterrent, raising the costs of any military action against Iran by threatening to unleash a regional conflagration. The interconnected nature of these alliances means that any conflict involving Iran could quickly escalate, drawing in multiple actors and destabilizing the entire region. Section 4. Oil markets. Brace for impact. The escalating tensions in the Middle East have sent shockwaves through global energy markets, injecting a new element of uncertainty into an already volatile environment. The geopolitical landscape is shifting rapidly, and the stakes are higher than ever. The region, home to some of the world's largest oil reserves and a crucial transit route for global energy supplies, is particularly vulnerable to disruptions. The consequences of these disruptions can be felt far beyond its borders, affecting economies worldwide. The price of oil, a key barometer of global economic health, has surged in recent weeks. Traders have factored in the risk of supply disruptions stemming from the Middle East conflict, leading to heightened market volatility. The spike in oil prices is adding to inflationary pressures, eroding consumer purchasing power, and raising concerns about the outlook for global economic growth. Higher energy costs are being felt across various sectors, from transportation to manufacturing. The Strait of Hormuz, a narrow waterway separating Iran from the Arabian Peninsula, is a crucial choke point for global oil supplies. Its strategic importance cannot be overstated. Approximately 20% of the world's seaborne oil passes through the strait, making it a potential flashpoint in the event of a wider conflict. Any disruption here could have severe global repercussions. Iran has repeatedly threatened to close the Strait of Hormuz in response to sanctions or military action against it. Such threats add to the already high levels of uncertainty in the region. While such a move would be met with international condemnation and likely trigger a military response, the threat alone is enough to roil energy markets and send oil prices soaring. The mere possibility of a blockade can cause significant market turmoil. The uncertainty surrounding the Middle East conflict is forcing energy-dependent nations to reassess their energy security strategies. Governments are under pressure to ensure a stable and reliable energy supply. Countries are looking to diversify their energy sources, increase domestic production, and build up strategic reserves to cushion the blow of any potential supply disruptions. Renewable energy projects are gaining momentum as part of this strategic shift. Section 5. A global economic ripple effect. The escalating conflict between Israel and Iran, with its potential to disrupt global energy supplies and trigger a wider regional conflagration, is casting a long shadow over the global economy. This conflict is not just a regional issue, but a global concern, affecting economies far beyond the immediate vicinity. The conflict is injecting a new element of uncertainty into an already fragile global economic outlook, raising fears of a slowdown or worse. Investors and businesses are on edge, trying to navigate through this unpredictable landscape. The spike in oil prices is adding to inflationary pressures, eroding consumer purchasing power and forcing central banks to consider more aggressive interest rate hikes to tame inflation. This situation is creating a challenging environment for policymakers who must balance inflation control with economic growth. Higher interest rates, while necessary to control inflation, can also slow economic growth by making it more expensive for businesses to borrow and invest. This can lead to reduced business expansion, job cuts, and a slowdown in economic activities. The conflict is also weighing on investor confidence, prompting a flight to safety as investors seek refuge in safe haven assets such as gold and government bonds. This shift in investment strategies reflects the heightened risk aversion in the market. This flight to safety is draining capital from riskier assets such as stocks, leading to market volatility and raising concerns about a potential market correction. The volatility is making it difficult for investors to predict market movements and plan their investments. The uncertainty surrounding the conflict is also disrupting global supply chains, which are already strained by the COVID-19 pandemic and the war in Ukraine. These disruptions are causing significant delays and shortages, impacting businesses worldwide. Businesses are facing delays in shipments, shortages of raw materials, and higher transportation costs, adding to inflationary pressures and further disrupting economic activity. This is leading to increased costs for consumers and businesses alike. The potential for a wider conflict in the Middle East is a stark reminder of the interconnectedness of the global economy. Events in one region can have ripple effects that are felt across the world. A regional conflict, even one that does not directly involve major economies, can have far-reaching consequences, disrupting global trade, roiling financial markets, and undermining economic growth. The global community must remain vigilant and proactive in addressing these challenges to mitigate their impact.